Thank you, Madam Speaker, Excellencies. We meet at a pivotal time for Euro-Atlantic and global security, a time when peace, security, and democracy are under attack. They are under attack in Ukraine, where for 3 years now, Moscow, helped by its accomplices in Minsk, Beijing, Pyongyang, and Tehran, has sought to crush the aspirations of a free and independent people to determine their democratic future. They are also under attack in our democracies, because every day Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea and their autocratic friends seek to influence our politics and elections, spread disinformation, undermine trust in our democratic institutions, and disrupt our critical infrastructures and essential services. The way democracies respond to this fundamental threat will shape the international system for decades to come. Safeguarding democracy today starts with ending Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Our Assembly has stood by Ukraine from day one of Russia's unprovoked illegal war. As we have said consistently, with this war, Russia attacked not just Ukraine, but democracy itself and the principles of the rules-based international order. That is why the outcome of this war must not reward the aggressor, as doing so could pave the way for even more devastating conflicts in Europe, Asia, or the Middle East. Russia would be emboldened, and also would be Beijing, Pyongyang, and Tehran. Therefore, here in this chamber, in this Palais de l'Europe, which stands as a symbol of democracy, I want to reaffirm the NATO Parliamentary Assembly's unwavering support for Ukraine, its sovereignty, territorial integrity, right to self-defense, and self-determination. I also want to reaffirm our support for a fair and lasting peace, a peace through strength, backed by solid security guarantees. As diplomatic efforts continue, our parliaments must continue to support Ukraine on the battlefield and at the negotiation table. We must also help ensure that Europe is ready and prepared to play its full part in securing lasting peace. At the same time, we must face up to the threat that Russia, China, and other autocracies pose to our democracies. As parliamentarians, we are on the front line of this struggle to defend our democratic way of life. The hybrid attacks conducted by autocracies against our democracies are not isolated acts. They are part of a well-organized campaign of subversion. This is why our Assembly has called for the establishment of a Center for Democratic Resilience at NATO headquarters, for allies and partners to share best practices and experiences. During this pivotal year of Euro-Atlantic security, the NATO Parliamentary Assembly celebrates our 70th anniversary. For 70 years, the NATO PA has carried forward the voice of allied legislator and provided an essential link between the alliance and its citizens. For 70 years, we have stood for the notion that NATO is an alliance of democracies that is defined not by what it stands against, but by what it stands for: democracy, individual liberty, and the rule of law. At this critical moment, multilateralism and parliamentary diplomacy are more important than ever. As parliamentarians, it is our duty to convince our fellow citizens that investing in defense is investing in peace, to convince them that supporting Ukraine is not only a moral imperative, but also a strategic necessity, to convince them that what is at stake today is not only our security, but also our economic, social, and cultural heritage and welfare, and the foundations of our democratic political systems. Thank you.